right, we're ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh!
Woof.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We are continuing because we enjoyed doing our last episode of it. So, yeah, we moving into episode 2 of The Game Den. With me, of course, is the lovely Xeiren.
Hello.
The equally as lovely Graveturtle.
Hello.
And my good buddy, Pass the Remote.
Hello?
And
Wow.
I also realized
No.
I never actually did do many introductions the last time. By this point, I think I started to assume people just know. But we are talking video games here. This is our chance to just have fun, off the cuff, and just talk some video games. So, we're going to talk about our love of games, and in particular, today, is something that, while I appreciate, it's a franchise that I am not, like, super into. It does have my my favorite entry, though, that I played from beginning to end, and I fucking adore it. But I'm not the biggest that kind of adventure gal. So, but you three most certainly are into that type of stuff. So we talked about the first mascot, not the first, but the big mascot of Nintendo. Why don't we talk about the second big mascot of Nintendo? What do we think of Zelda? Yeah. Oh, I will definitely give it this. Like it doesn't matter if I don't care for the gameplay of a lot of Zelda games. Damn, do they have a good soundtrack.
All of them.
Yeah.
All the Zeldas have excellent music.
That they do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here for sound effects. Okay, I feel like the best place to start is just between the four of us. Name your favorite entry.
Twilight Princess.
Or very least give me your top 3. Because I know it's hard for you, Grave. I know it's hard.
It's so hard for me.
Actually, yeah, okay. Twilight Princess, obviously number 1 for me. I appreciate and do actually enjoy Link's Awakening. And well, back in the day I did also enjoy the Link to the Past.
Yeah.
So those would be my top 3.
All right. I think I've got my top 3. All right. I'm going to go with Majora's Mask.
Ooh.
Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
And Link's Awakening DX.
DX. That's what I meant. Yeah, DX. Yeah, Link's Awakening DX specifically is like so good. The color makes it pop.
Good pop.
I can't pick a top 3.
Okay, then just
3?
rattle off the ones that are coming to your mind.
The first 3 that come to your mind.
But see, now I've been like thinking about like the games trying to pick a top 3, and definitely at the top of my mind.
Okay.
3 for today. Let's just say that. What are your top 3 today?
Well, I can already tell you, I know Twilight Princess is near the top of your list, just because of the sheer joy you had when you discovered you could use the fishing pole to kill Ganon. Dwarf.
Well, I didn't kill him with the fishing pole. I distracted him with it.
You
and-
killed him like people who try to stab fish. You like, here, fishy, 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 stab. Here, fishy, 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 stab. Here, fishy, 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 stab.
Okay, I'm gonna have to replay it and do that.
Yeah, apparently.
For those who don't know, in the final fight with Ganon, Link versus Ganon, well, human form Ganon, if you have the fishing pole and you just cast the fishing pole, Ganon will get so distracted, he'll look and he'll be like, what? And while he's just standing there trying to figure out what was going through Link's mind, you can hit him with the sword.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's great because Ganon looks so confused.
They had to have programmed that. There's
it
no
is
fucking way they didn't program that.
It's the most hilarious shit I've ever seen in a Zelda game, and there is some hilarious shit that happens in Zelda games.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
my
there's
gosh.
some-
But yeah, Twilight Princess obviously is in my top Zelda games, along with Link's Awakening, the original black and white one.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, I've never played the DX version of that.
I think the DX is the superior version.
Yeah, it does add some
I mean,
more
it ha-
stuff, and it's got really good color.
It gives you an extra dungeon.
Yes.
I mean, I did play the Switch remake that has the color dungeon in there, and that was kind of fun.
And
But,
that was fun. Although I do personally prefer the Game Boy version because I feel it's a little bit better. I think it responds a little bit better. There's some issues I have with the Switch version. I don't find it to perform as well, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Actually, it's not just you. I know that shocked look on his avatar's face. I know. Pass and I agree on something. This doesn't. I'm not saying it never happens, but it rarely happens that Pass and I wholeheartedly agree on something without some sort of mitigating factor in between. No, the Switch version of Link's Awakening is great. I love that this was the way they decided to announce their new top-down aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
for Zelda games, because I really love the chibi style they came up with.
The
It
Funko Pop
feels-
style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just really works for the
Mhm.
for the top-down view, the way they set that up. However, when you take a game that was originally designed with D-pad only controls in mind, and then you give it a joystick, shit gets weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
don't use the joystick. Just use the D-pad.
Unfortunately, there are some things where it's like you want to use the D-pad, but they won't. Remember the little tile creator that's supposed to fill in holes?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're supposed to go up,
Yeah.
down, back and forth in order to fill the tiles in during the last couple dungeons. Yeah, you can only use the joystick for that. And if your right angles are even slightly off with that joystick, it will poof.
Oh.
Fuck that shit.
uh,
I should have been allowed to have D-pad controls for that. But no. No. That not to mention, I feel like Link's Awakening becomes too easy
mm-hmm.
to play on Switch, because anybody who's played the Game Boy versions knows that back in the day, jingle jingle jingle,
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, before the Switch was a thing. I said your favorite word. You only had the A and the B button for action, which
Mhm.
meant you had to be careful. and strategic about how the way you went through dungeons and shit, because you didn't have access to more than 2 items at a time.
Mm-hmm.
On the Switch version, because there's like 9 different buttons you can assign tasks to,
Mm-hmm.
they just gave you hotkeys for pretty much everything.
Yeah, there were times in the original Game Boy version where you're running around without a sword, or you're running around without a shield because of the other items you're using. And in the Switch version, you always have the sword, you always have the shield, and it, like, certain areas just get really easy because of that, because you don't have to be like, okay, I need to have one offensive item and then one utility item.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm like running around with like the sword and the ocarina, or I'm running around with like with the magic wand and, you know, the roc's feather.
Yeah.
So
yeah, when it comes to Link's Awakening, I've not played the DX version, but I know it plays pretty much like the Game Boy version. And the Game Boy version was actually my first Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
It was what came with my Game Boy, along with Tetris.
That one, I had a Game Boy Pocket, and Link's Awakening came free with mine.
I just realized Pass has never seen my gray brick.
Oh, I miss mine.
Oh, it gives Ookami the tingles because, I took pristine care of my gray brick Game Boy. It still looks brand new.
Yes, she did.
It freaked her out the first time I pulled it out of its case in like 10 years. And she's like, "Oh my god, I feel like I've gone through time."
Yeah.
Yeah,
little Ookami just staring, going like.
It was the most adorable shit.
Part of that's just because a lot of them did kind of they got that yellow. They had that yellowing issue.
Mm-hmm.
That just happens through light exposure. And
yeah,
the thing with me was like my family was just, I mean, let's just be real about it. They were always on the edge of dirt poor, like literally eating dirt poor. And so when my sister and I got things that were really, really nice, we were hyper encouraged to take very good care of it. And my Game Boy never just sat on a couch hanging around. No. If I was playing it, I was playing it. And usually under like a side lamp, because we didn't turn on the big lights in my house. That was too much electricity. And the sun was always too bright to play my Game Boy under. Not to mention I'm a ginger and hate the fucking sun. Because I'm a vampire. And so it's like, this thing was only ever handled in dim light or on car rides in the shade in the back seat. And when I wasn't playing it, it was in its protective blackout case. And so this thing looks fucking pristine.
Nice.
Pristine.
Oh,
but yeah, oh god. For me, I think it has to, because like Link's Awakening was my first. My second was Link to the Past, because after I got a Game Boy, I would visit my mom's house, and she got a Super Nintendo for me and my step siblings. And my stepbrother and I, we would stay up into the wee hours of the morning, like sometimes 3, 4 in the morning. The summer we got that game, because he was great at combat. He could not remember riddles to save his life. And so he would just be like fighting. And he's like, "Where the fuck was I supposed to go?" And I'm like, "You're supposed to go that way because the riddle said this thing." "Oh, okay, thank you." And I would just, that was my first, and that was my first real experience of like basically participating in like the long-term watch of a game. Just being the couch backseat co-pilot. This is how we used to do Twitch back in the day.
Yes. Yeah, that was Twitch.
oh my god, it makes my knees hurt just thinking about it.
Does anyone remember playing on the playground with your Game Boy, having everybody around? Because it's like, oh, they got the new game. And like watching everybody gather over your shoulder,
Oh,
watching you
God.
play.
That was
I wish.
Yeah.
That was a stream.
But I wish. But my school was very anti handhelds, very anti bringing anything of your own entertainment along to school. Like, the best you got was doodling in your notebook because it was the one thing they couldn't stop you from doing.
Yeah, I was able to do that for at least at recess. Like at recess and lunch, I
that
was
must
allowed
have
to
been
do
cool.
that. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's funny when I share like really restrictive school
Pokemon.
stories, because even Grave back when we were in college was just like, how did they police that? I'm like, my college was like maybe 1/20th. Like my elementary school and high school was like maybe 1/20th your size. We had every teacher up our asshole. I wish I could have snuck shit around. Oh, let's see. So yeah, Link's Awakening, Link to the Past. You know what?
Now-
I think from like, while I do absolutely adore what Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask did for the 3D, I feel like it hit its peak with Twilight Princess. That, and I've been told way too many times I'm just Midna in human form. So
You are.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
Although I think my favorite thing about Twilight Princess was my partner at the time playing through it for the first time, and they were like, yeah, I was so annoyed through the whole game because here's this little thing, riding on my back and yanking on my ears and telling me what to do, and then I get to the end and she transforms into her humanoid self. I'm like, she was riding me and pulling my ears, telling me what to do. And I'm just like, good lord, darling, what the fuck? And this was all after a discussion that was had about like me being a human version of Midnight. I'm like, I'm not gonna pull your ears. And I just left it at that. Just pulling someone's ears is weird. But I will say this, and I know some people will look at me weird for it, but I really, 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 really loved Tears of the Kingdom.
I liked it too.
A lot of people did. I can respect that. For some reason, this latest run of Zelda just didn't grab me, and I think I'm not as big on open world exploration type games like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But the best part of the newer Zeldas is running around and not following the plot, because the side quests are fun, they're great. Some of them are super annoying, but you can ignore them. The little micro dungeons, though, of like whatever, like a little shrine they're having you go in, they don't hit the same way that the big temples did in the previous games. Which, if you just want a puzzle here and there because you're exploring, it is fine if that's your jam. But I think, and it seems like a lot of the long-term fans kind of just miss the big dungeons.
Oh yeah, I agree. I understand.
I think.
I mean, nobody likes the water temple, but at the same time, you kind of miss it when it's not there.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that would help out Nintendo a lot is if they want to keep doing the open world Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style Zeldas, that's fine. But then in between those, a regular, whether it's 3D or top-down Zelda, I think that will help that'll help scratch the itch
Mhm.
for a lot
Well,
of folks, because I know a lot of people who, well, even if they liked Breath of the Wild, it's like, yeah, but they do miss some of those big dungeons. And in Breath of the Wild, I did miss them because I'm like, the Divine Beast just ain't cutting it for me.
Yeah.
no, the Divine Beasts were definitely one of those you almost had it
Mhm.
Yeah.
kind of moments. Like the Divine Beasts aren't bad. It's just
No.
four of the same kind of dungeon, and so it got a little monotonous with Breath of the Wild. However, the whole give us a top down or something more retro in between. I mean, that's basically what they did with Echoes of Wisdom,
True.
which
Mhm.
And
I,
my
I
yeah.
which
Yeah.
I greatly appreciated. And they definitely have two different dev
Mhm.
teams working
Mhm.
on the two different styles of
Oh yeah,
Zelda, which
they've all
I
but
think is
confirmed that's what they're going
great.
to be doing. Yeah.
And that I think is going to help a lot of people, because a lot of people who might not be might be like, the open world's fine, but yet now they're going to get their kick of, oh hey, traditional Zelda. All right, there we
Mhm.
go.
Well, because there are people
I
who just really love how Zelda games kind
Mhm.
of guide you through an
Mhm.
entire adventure, an entire story, and
Yeah.
and that's legit. That's valid. Not
That's
Yeah.
everybody likes the open world model, and that's fine.
yeah. This
No,
I think can I
yeah.
this is
Okay.
I think this is actually a good chance for me to, share with everybody why I personally have issue when it comes to open world games. Why a lot of
Uh-huh.
people, I've always said a lot of people go like, but there's like so much you can do, and I'm like, yeah, that's my neurodivergence right there. I need structure. It's why I play so many fighting games because and other games like that, and maybe like Mario and all that other good stuff. There's a set goal. I'm like, okay, I go from point A, point B, so on and so forth. I can diverge a little bit and do little side things, but in the end, I know what it is I'm doing, and I know that there's an end goal. When it comes to open world, I get overwhelmed by choice because
It's
I'm like,
funny that you
I, hmm?
it's funny that you say that because I have a friend in Ireland that has the exact same problem. It's just like
I'll get you.
between my flavor of ADHD and autism,
Yeah,
like just give me clear instructions. I'm
yes.
like, this is why you're a sub, isn't it? and he la-
Wow.
and he laughs every time.
I
It's
mean, this would
freaking great.
probably be the case for me too, but like I like yeah I like structure like that. That's why I loved like the 90s through the early 2000s when it came to fighting games and stuff like that, because I'm like, oh, if I do this, I play through the game, the campaign, play through the game like this, I unlock the next character, and then I can do this, and then I can do that, and eventually I unlock everything, which is also why I've never really cared for DLC because it took that away from me. But
You can roll with this. You can roll with that.
yeah,
You could do this. You could do
yeah.
that.
But yeah, it's why I like stuff like that, and that's what I liked about the Zelda games. Yes, there is exploration, and a lot I've heard people also complain and be like, "Woo." But like this allows you to like explore the world. I'm like, and I couldn't do that in the older games.
Yeah, in the older games, granted the maps weren't as big, partially
Yeah.
due to things like technological limitations, but you had a plot to follow when you wanted to follow it, and otherwise there were things to discover, things to explore, like
Mm-hmm.
in side quests and things to accomplish. Because at a certain point you've basically unlocked the whole map to
Mm-hmm.
an extent, and then you just can run around looking for secrets if you want. Even on the Game Boy versions, you could do that.
Yeah. Like, again, another thing why I adored Twilight Princess, because I would be going along doing the story, and then eventually I'd be like, okay, well, I need to go get some stuff here. I need to go do this. I'm gonna take a break from the story, And I'm literally gonna just go swimming around and exploring this because I just want to look.
Bug hunting.
Oh my
Bug
god, I
hunting.
adored the bug hunting.
Running
Yes.
around the fishing zone, like once you find it,
Yes.
Yeah.
or just
Mhm.
taking one of the statues for a walk with the Dominion rod.
I'm gonna do the
Yeah.
canoe ride 50 times.
Yes. Oh my god.
That's the one thing I feel like sets
Diving with the
Twilight
bird.
Princess up. Yeah, it's the thing that like sets Twilight Princess apart specifically from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. They really killed it with the mini games
Mm-hmm.
in Twilight Princess. The way I spent, God, at least 2 hours trying to beat that bitch snowboarding.
I did it
Big-
very okay, you're gonna hate me because I
Oh no, it's okay.
did it instantly. But I kept going back because I wanted to snowboard again and again.
Yes. Because once you figure out the trick to beat the abominable's wife, I forget her name off the top of my head.
Oh, she did.
But,
Oh, yeah. She took me a little bit. I think I struggled
yeah,
with her like
beating her
2 or
husband,
3.
easy peasy pie.
Yeah.
Beating her,
She's good.
her.
She was good.
She's,
But
she's
She had a
agile.
career in the X Games.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like beating her took me like 2 hours because I'm just like,
Yeah.
how is she so fast?
But I loved it, and every time I lost, I'm like, you know what? I lost. That's all there is to it. I never felt cheated.
Mhm.
Make you feel bad that she beat you. She's not like one of those characters that's, trash talks you afterwards.
No, oh my god, both of them are fantastic. I loved that I love that entire temple. I love that entire area. That was so good. Yeah,
It was a really fun way to do a non-traditional temple in that
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, because it was just their mansion, and you got to go inside and outside.
Yep.
It felt very much like something you could come across in like a more traditional fantasy universe.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh god, her transformation before the boss battle,
Yes.
best jump scare in a
Oh yeah.
fucking Zelda game. Period.
Startled the crap out of me.
I might
Oh,
even
yeah.
consider it the best jump scare in all of gaming, honestly.
It's a
Because
damn good one.
it's unsettling. It's so unsettling.
Yeah.
You know something's about to happen, but the timing is perfect.
Yeah. That's
and
always
then
what
afterwards, when she's been cleansed, and her husband runs up to her, and then there's just like the
Mhm.
hearts floating,
Yeah.
flying everywhere, and you can pick them up, and they restore your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing I also liked about the whole thing with in Twilight Princess. Yeah, like the bits of the Mirror of Twilight would just corrupt anybody who touches. Basically, it was just naturally corrupting,
Mhm.
and that bit. But one of the other things that you Okami brought up, the structural thing, is actually something that I did kind of miss from some of the early things, because I know Xeiren said, Link's Awakening was her first one. The first one I ever played was the first one when I was very, very young. I had a friend who had the Nintendo and had Zelda. Now, we didn't get anywhere close to anything in the first one, because you didn't know where the hell to go. You just go around, hit monsters with your beam sword and all that. But one of the things that I missed with that one, and with especially with a good bit of a Link to the Past, was the ability to do some of the dungeons in whatever order you wanted to.
Yes.
Like, if you go to Link to the Past, and once you finish that first one in the Dark World, you can basically go to almost any of the others in whatever order you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You create the
It's
adventure.
It's possible to sequence break in Link's Awakening. You can.
That one's a little harder to sequence break, I find.
Yeah, well, like you can skip Gapanga's swamp and just run around with Bow Wow the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, but then that gets to a certain point where you're not going to be able to finish the quest for what's his name in the castle because
Oh yeah, Richard, I think.
Richard. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the you can't trade the bananas to the monkey to have them build the bridge because Bow Wow will attack the monkey and on site. So yeah, they have little things that they do like that. Like Link's Awakening was kind of the first one where it's like, okay, you go from this to this to this. However, I also understand it's a Game Boy game. Like they didn't have a whole lot of like they had to cram a lot into those cards.
True.
But it is something that I do kind of miss is being able to sequence break some of the dungeons. And honestly, one of the things that I wish that they wouldn't do as much, which is basically, oh, you need to do the last dungeon because it has an item that you need to get into this dungeon. It's like, okay, can we not do that? Can I
Yeah.
just, do them in a different order? Make a challenge for myself? Because I mean, you can go on to the old GameFAQs things. They would have all these for Link to the Past, all of these different combinations. You want to do it super easy, do it this way. Oh, you want to give yourself a challenge? Here you go. Here's a challenge. You're gonna do the 5th dungeon last. Have fun with the green tunic for most of the game, because. But yeah, But yeah, the NES one, which was I believe that one of the big things about uh, the about Breath of the Wild was kind of going back to that very exploration-y thing, which the original Legend of Zelda very much is, because you have to look for those dungeons. Some of them you got to look.
True.
But and then there's also Zelda 2, which is an interesting little black sheep of the family.
I don't hate the idea of Zelda 2. I don't even hate the execution. I actually think it's perfectly fine. Some of its difficulty skyrocketed. Yeah, that
it's got some issues with its difficulty, and I think also I think it does without having a map, and having a map would have made some of those palaces and those dungeons a lot easier to navigate, I think. I feel that I mean, I like the idea. I do like the combat mechanics, but I do think, yeah, you kind of needed a little bit of a map. There is one somebody who actually did a PC sprite remake of it that I think actually is much better than the original.
Yes,
Adds
I've
a couple
seen
of
that.
things.
Yeah.
Also allows for not just heart pieces, but also allows you for certain things like maps to the overworld and things like that. That I feel like you might not have been able to do that back then, but now, yeah, that's good. But
it's a PC port of a fan PC port, ground up remake of freaking Link's Awakening. I've seen that.
Interesting.
That one is awesome.
Now, I will say one of the other
Oh
things.
My God!
You hear it?
Please tell me I'm not the only one hearing that.
No, I'm hearing that too.
What am I hearing?
That is on Gravesend.
Oh, okay. It's one of the cats, or it's the husky, just in the background. I was like, oh no, what's happening?
It's actually neither of those things.
What is it?
There's kids running up and down the street.
Oh,
okay.
On top of their lungs.
Okay, not as cute.
Okay. It still sounded adorable.
It did. I was like, what?
Muffled on this end. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
It's children.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Like, but like with the original, like you were talking about past, like like the
Mhm.
whole thing when Miyamoto came up with the whole concept, he's like, apparently he was one of those kids that was just told to fuck off and play in the woods as a child. And
Yeah.
he would just go running around. He says like when he was like between the ages of like 5 and 9, he would just go running around and explore and just discover things all the time. And that was the whole inspiration for the original Zelda game, was just
Mm-hmm.
him running around in these random environments
Mhm.
and finding little secrets and things and creating his own world and treating it like an adventure.
I
And
just want to imagine little Miyamoto holding up something above his head. I found it!
I mean, probably. I found a thing.
Um,
Honestly, that's the way I imagine it too. And I one of the things I do love
Mm-hmm.
about
mhm.
Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, respectfully, is that they used the open world model very similarly to the
Yes.
way the open concept in the original Zelda was. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
you could do shit out of order in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but eventually when you interact with the world enough, you realize, oh, a there is a madness to the method
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and a method to the madness. And so you eventually figure it out along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And in the later installments, you mostly find that out through character interaction, which as
Mhm.
Zelda has gone on through the decades, can we just gush about side characters for a second?
There's some
The
really
Yep.
side characters are
good
There's
like
some
the
side
best
great
Very
parts
good.
of
ones.
all the games.
Um, yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Probably one of my favorites in Breath of the Wild is what's his? I forgot his name. He's the parrot who's got the
Cass!
the little. Yes,
Cass.
because it's so fun when you actually play Hero's Ballad. You see that? Oh, it's so good. That's one of my favorite DLCs because you get to you get one some interesting things and one of the fun weapons of it's a boop stick. You just boop people and they die. But if they boop you, you die. It literally everything will die in one hit. You
Oh
will
wow.
die in one hit. Have fun. You cannot unequip it. Try doing that on master mode. That I'm Where's my TOTK master mode? Because I like if you never play Breath of the Wild, so the master mode is the original Legend of Zelda always had that hard mode. You put where after you beat the game is the second quest, they move everything around. This one, it's like, okay, all of the enemies are bumped up a color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, you get hit even harder. There isn't oh, you have full life, and if they kill you, you get to 1/4 heart. Oh no, you have full life, and they will kill you. Yeah, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Get good.
I think
Like,
with Tears of the Kingdom, what they tried to do
uh-huh.
is instead of giving you a master mode, they really extended the life bars on the higher level bitches.
They did.
Yeah, but then
They
they just
really
screw
freaking
the
did.
sponge.
Yeah,
And
because
Mm-hmm.
but here's the thing,
especially near the
because
end, that end boss is like,
oh yeah,
the
oh
life
yeah,
bar's still going. You hit the edge. Oh, you hit the edge of the screen. You
like
need to go. Oh,
silver and gold, like bokoblins and moblins just become a
okay.
fucking slog. But that's only if you're not employing the new mechanic, which is the building
Mhm.
mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get like, whereas Breath of the Wild was very focused on having all this fun with like different combos and everything, getting really good at
Mhm.
tactical and like, well timed combat, which I
Mm-hmm.
loved, which I loved. But because Tears of the Kingdom has the building machines mechanic, like they make everything damage sponges so that way you can just build these death traps
Yes,
to
I've
wipe
seen
out to wipe out these higher level like overworld enemies. And
Mhm.
that shit is hilarious. Not to mention with their longer lifespans and the longer they chase you now in Tears of the Kingdom,
Yep.
it is so fun to screw with monsters in the underground, in the
Mhm.
depths, because they will chase you for the longest fucking time, especially if you try to fuck with their mining situation.
Oh yeah.
And I
No.
would I would make this like power sled, which was like a like think of it like a ski-doo but on land.
Yeah.
And I
Like
would
you
just
put
make
like
them chase me in circles for the longest fucking time because the way they run makes me giggle.
Yep. Um.
Speaking of like, being forced to be creative and such, the one thing
Mhm.
I kind of missed in Tears of the Kingdom was there was no equivalent to the Cave of Ordeals.
Mm.
It's like, you know, the the sheer amount of like planning that was required for those types of dungeons in the previous ones, and like in Breath of the Wild they had the challenge for to actually get the Master Sword to be good, which
Yes.
was kind of
Yeah.
went there.
I think
And
they
there,
tried to recreate that with the Colosseums in the depths, but it wasn't the same.
It's not the
no,
same. Although man, those coliseums are so much fun. First one I found, I'm like, ooh, what is it? Oh, it's what I wanted. It's a game of Lionels. I was like, I am so happy because I'm gonna kill every single last one of you. The fact is, when I play those open world Zeldas, no, yeah, I play those open world Zeldas like I will be the goddamn humanoid typhoon. I will kill every goddamn thing in there.
Pass, you want to know the funniest shit?
I want to know the funniest shit. Yeah,
I went into that one on accident.
I did too. I
but
did.
I
I'm
went
like,
but I
oh,
went
what is
into it
that?
on accident with 4 hearts.
oh no,
Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a
it
get
became
good moment.
it was definitely a get good moment for a hot second. And then I got to the here's the thing though. I got to the last Lionel and I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I have like half a heart. I'm gonna fucking die. But I just kept playing cat and mouse with the motherfucker. Hiding in the one spot he couldn't fucking touch me. And I would go down and be like, smack, run, 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 smack, run, 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 smack, run, 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 run. It took like 20 minutes, but I finally killed the motherfucker
Yeah.
with half a
oh,
heart left
nice.
on the first try. It was my proudest moment. I was like,
That's
holy shit, I did it! Holy shit, I did it!
I got to the last one and I was I was like, oh, and then they got me on a like I sidestepped when I should have backflipped or whatever, and they got
Mhm.
me. I'm like, and you got me. So I got them on the second. I got everything through the second
Yeah.
time. I'm like, okay, but like that's the thing. Oh, and here's a fun fact: in the master mode of Breath of the Wild, on the central plateau near where you come out, there's also a Lionel. You might want to avoid him because with 3 hearts and sticks, you ain't beating him, and he'll chase your ass
So
throughout the entire
I
goddamn
might
map.
actually have to pick up these games. Like the
Um,
more you guys are talking about it, the more it is like intriguing me, making me go, okay, maybe I can set aside my ADHD and issues in my brain and just have myself my own little what the fuck adventure, just have fun.
So
Well, see,
mhm.
the
the thing
one
is,
thing
like, they do tell you places to go, but
Yeah.
like how you get there and what routes you take to try and make your way over there
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
is up to you. So, like in Tears of the Kingdom, like the first time you drop into the depths, they tell you to find a certain thing, and you have to find your way over there.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time you're down there, it's really scary because it's so dark, and you have to figure
Dark
out
and
different ways to
spooky.
problem solve to light the way. And if you've played previous Zelda games, you keep thinking you're going to find re-deads down there, but you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Missed opportunity there, Nintendo. Where are the
Yeah, but-
re-deads?
Hey, we got Gibdos. And
But
if you
where are the
remember,
re-deads? I mean,
Yeah, but
there's Ganon's bad touch hands, but
there is Ganon's bad touch hands. They're just like, oh no.
see, the first time I ran into those, I had come down from the sky, and I was basically, I ran off it. Well, I found like a little cave and with stuff in it, and I'm like, oh, I go here. And it took me about an hour before I realized I'm probably supposed to have the glider by now. And then Ganon's hands came after me and chased me up the wall. And here I am with like a quarter, wheel of like stamina, like the tiny sliver of stamina left, looking at these hands that are reaching up at me and going like, I need to find a way out of here. So don't be like me. Go get your glider.
Like, there's...
I had mentally blocked out the fucking gloom hands. I had mentally blocked out the gloom hands during this conversation. I literally started shaking like I was being choked by them. I was like,
They're not as bad as re-deads.
yeah, true, but at the same time,
Re-deads.
the way they announce themselves, though, like
That's
it's just this weird, it's just this weird little noise in the background. And you're like, what's that? What's that? And then the sky goes red, and you're like, wait, I thought we weren't doing the blood moon thing. What's going on? And you think to yourself, is the game freaking out? Is it glitching out? And before you know it, you hear this, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
That's because first they had to make the BMOS actually scary in the previous game, and now they have to make the floor masters scary.
Oh god, the first time I came across those damn gloom hands, it scared the piss out of me.
Yeah.
It scared me to death. And I was just, it was like, well, yes, they're not as dangerous as re-deads. The way it came into view, and whenever everybody remembers their first encounter with those fuckers, I don't care who you are, that shit scares the piss out of you. I mean, still not as like because of how it sneaks up on you and how it like slowly makes its presence known. I wouldn't call it a jump scare. It's more of that sense of dread of what the fuck is that.
It's like the first time you run into like the wall masters in Twilight Princess.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh god.
Got in there, got in the ball. You're like walking out with it, and then you see this shadow above you, and then flap.
Yep.
And then like you have to go and get the ball back if you're still alive at that point.
Yeah.
And then like try and platform while this shadow is over you.
Like there's,
I do want to give a shout out to some other parts of the series we haven't talked about. Wind Waker is an interesting one.
Wind Waker's a blast.
It is fun.
Like
It's
Link has the
fun.
best expressions in that one.
He does.
Like,
It's very
oh, you're gonna shoot
cartoony.
me out of a cannon, and he has exactly the face you would expect him to have. It's like, is this really happening?
The Oracle games. I love the Oracle games.
Those are good.
So cute.
Oracle games are so great. Originally, there was going to be
fantastic.
3 of them, but they decided, no, we'll just stick to 2. So you got Seasons, which is a lot more I feel a lot more combat oriented, and then you've got Ages, which is a lot more puzzle based.
They wanted to do 6
Ages
like
over
at the very
Seasons.
beginning of concept.
Huh?
Well, and
They
also,
wanted
like,
to do
being
6
able
of
to
them when they first came up with the concept. And then they're like,
Well,
okay, well,
like-
we narrowed it down to 3, and they're like, okay, let's just narrow it down to 2.
Also,
being
those
able
were
to
dubbed by
pass-
Capcom.
Yeah.
Well, being able to pass secrets between the 2 games was a
That
really unique
was
concept.
yes. That
And-
was a really good concept.
I do have a question for you 3.
Mhm.
Does Hyrule Warriors count as one of them, as a Zelda game?
Ah,
That's a
here we
difficult
go.
one.
Here we go.
Because
Okay.
if so, I love that game.
I'm good. I'm gonna state my opinion, and I'm gonna state a fact.
Okay.
Technically, no, but it fucking should.
Yes.
Those games are so much fun. Like both Hyrule Warriors and Age of Calamity, and now a new one's coming out.
There
Age
is
of
a new one.
Imprisonment. I'm
Yep.
super excited for it. I adore those games so much. They are so much fun to just go and smash enemies and relax.
Yeah, because I love Dynasty Warriors. Like that's where I was like, oh fuck, okay, I can play this.
Because those games are essentially collaborations with the Dynasty Warriors team. Nintendo says, "Oh, they don't count. They don't count. They don't count." Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
The story.
We're gonna get into a little bit of a deception.
Nintendo has never been concerned with continuity between the games
Until they decided to actually do it.
No. That's the thing, though. I don't think that was Nintendo's decision. I think that was the Dynasty Warriors team going like, "Hey, guess what? We can fix your problem right fucking here." And then Nintendo's like, "Yeah." Because if you take in like Hyrule Warriors, especially if you have the definitive edition like I do, they basically create a story around it that it explains why Breath of the Wild exists the way it does.
Yeah.
It does.
The missing piece.
It fixes the timeline issues, but they refuse to let it count as canon. And I'm over here going, why? Why?
Because fuck all of you. It's like, it's Nintendo.
I mean,
Nintendo just saying, fuck you.
Just don't think about the continuity. I give the continuity as much attention as Nintendo ever did, which is none. It's like you just enjoy the games as they are, and don't stress, and don't come up with conspiracy theories.
Well, one, I like coming up with the conspiracy theories because they're fun as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get stressed out about it. I just thought the way Hyrule Warriors, the original one, handled it was effing brilliant. Because because I am very much of the mind that when it comes to the Zelda timeline or whatever, like, it's just fun to try and fit the pieces together. It's kind of like an archaeologist trying to put back together a piece of pottery that they don't have all the pieces to. It's like, you're gonna get an idea of what this thing looked like when it was whole, but there's always going to be little pieces missing. And I'm fine with that because I love playing around in the gray area and the missing pieces going, ooh, what could that be? Ooh, what could that be? Ooh, what could that be? But here's the reason why I find the Hyrule Warriors thing fucking brilliant. They didn't say, oh, here's how you put everything in order. They're like, no, we're going to say that all of these continuities, they're just going to converge into a singular thing. And that's how we're going to fix it. Which explains why the Hyrule of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom subsequently are as nonsensical as they are, and why, like 10,000 years later, no one really knows the truth as to why the world exists the way it does. They have vague legends and stories, but that's about it. It's my personal headcanon that the first Hyrule Warriors was the thing that happened tens upon tens of thousands of years in Breath of the Wild's past. And that's why they have all this evidence for all these different games, even if it doesn't make sense in the timeline, because it's literally all the timelines coming together and creating a new Zelda dimension. Essentially. And it just makes sense. But Nintendo refuses to just adopt it as a possibility because they love dangling the fucking carrot, like dangling the fucking fishing pole in front of Ganondorf in Twilight Princess during the final fucking boss fight.
At this point, I think Nintendo just likes to watch the fans squirm when it comes to lore.
Oh, absolutely.
They're like, we're just not going to concern ourselves with making sense because they're going to try and make sense of it anyway. We're just going to focus on the things we want to focus on. And when they squirm and try to figure it out, we're just going to sit here and go, tee.
Which is
But,
still somehow not as bad as dealing with trying to do the Kingdom Hearts timeline, but that's a whole nother story.
That's not the subject of the day, and you do not want to open up that can of worms around me right now.
I will say one of the other things that I really do like is when some of the games will reference other games in the series, and they'll do that like how Ocarina of Time, it took the cities from Zelda 2 and made them characters in the game. And that was like the only real thing. And then, 25 years later, we get Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm just like, oh, I see what you did there. This is your take on Ocarina of Time. Nice. Because as soon as I saw that one name, I'm like, that's what we're doing.
And yet, Error has never made another appearance.
Well, he is Error.
So you guys want to hear my little pet theory right now?
Okay.
One day, I was sitting around trying to figure out what they're trying to do with this new Breath of the Wild universe. Because Breath of the Wild is very much a callback to the original Zelda game.
Yes.
Yep.
Then you have Tears of the Kingdom, which is weird and different, but promotes itself as a direct sequel. Just like the second NES game.
Yep.
Now, if you've played Tears of the Kingdom, you know there's this thing you can find called the Hero's Aspect. And it's one of the coolest armor sets, at least visually, in the whole game. Because you look like the hero from the tapestry, specifically. Now, fun fact. Link to the Past is technically a prequel to the original Zelda game.
Yes.
On NES. I feel like that's where the next big open world one's going to go. I think it's going to be a prequel to Breath of the Wild.
Well, yeah, because that's how, Link to the Past was a prequel to Legend of Zelda, and then Ocarina was a prequel to Link to the Past, taking those little bits of lore that you heard about. Oh, these 7 wise men sealed it up, and we get to play what actually happened.
Yep. And I feel, and like, I'm just sitting here going like, oh, please give this to me. And then, of course, when I heard the announcement for Age of Imprisonment, I'm like, I was right!
Yeah.
Like, as I lift out of my avatar's body because I threw my arms up. My soul has been lifted.
Yeah, most of the other sequels in like the Zelda games are just like what happens when Link ends up unsupervised, which is basically destroy things. Like, like Link's Awakening, Link destroys an island. Majora's Mask, Link, uses the ocarina to rip people's faces off and wear them as his own.
Go take his face off.
And I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that they'll do another game where Link is unsupervised, because we've seen one of the interesting things about Echoes of Wisdom was kind of seeing and hearing about the zany things that Link was doing while Zelda was trying to actually solve the problem. They're like, oh yeah, Link was here and he ran off in that direction, or Zelda gets into the dungeon and she's fighting a boss, and Link comes over and beats it with a stick and jumps through the hole through reality after it. And you're just like, is Link just a natural disaster that Zelda just points at Ganon in all the other games? I think he's just a natural disaster.
I'm pretty much. He's just chaos incarnate, running around going, "I'm going to defeat the bad guy," and Zelda's over here going like, "Let me actually solve some problems, please. Like, my people are suffering."
He's just running around making atomic bombs with a bomb, a Korok, and a wheel, just going love and peace.
Okay, of all the comparisons, that's so accurate, though. I'm never gonna watch Trigun the same way again, you bastard. I'm like, it's just Link in a cyberpunk future. Oh my god. It's Vash, when you give Link a gun. I will say this, I loved Echoes of Wisdom for finally giving my little girly heart like finally the dream of playing as Zelda, because the CD games don't count.
Mm.
Yeah, they don't.
Everyone has
Don't
blocked
talk about
CDI games out of their memory. We don't need to bring them back up. They
Oh,
do not exist. They cannot
but-
hurt you. They are not hiding under your bed. You don't need to check the closet to make sure that
I
they're
will say
not
this.
hiding there to come after you.
I will say this about the CDI games, like, the trolls always remember the CDI games, but they're some of the most wholesome people. Like, I will
True.
take CDI Zelda memes all fucking day. But ever playing them? No.
True.
No.
No, I would never play those games. Like, even though apparently they've made quote-unquote fixed versions of those games, I don't want to try.
You killed me. Good.
Good.
Oh gosh.
Also, thank you, Breath of the Wild, for continuing the meme of, yeah, Link's gonna fuck that fish.
Yeah.
Link's gonna fuck that fish.
Okay.
Fish waifu.
But I feel like
And you know what?
I
Tears
need
of the
to take-
Kingdom also, because he probably would be willing to. Wait,
Sidon
if
and Link
if
are
it was Link and
boyfriends.
Sidon, who's the top and who's the bottom?
Yes. They're both verse. I will hear nothing less. Although it's like I will say this for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it made me want to fuck a fish. Like, the Zora were always cute. Like, I mean, except for in Link to the Past. They were terrifying in Link to the Past.
Yeah.
But like from Ocarina onward, when you have like the cuter version of the Zora, I'm just like, huh, these are adorable. And then Sidon comes on screen, I'm like, Daddy? Hello? Am I losing my mind over Shark Boy here? Yes, I am. But then
Barracuda.
So is the Legend of Zelda movie just going to be Legend of Zelda: The Shape of Water?
I mean, fair. I would see it. But the thing is, like, Mifa is also super pretty. Like,
Yeah.
you can't diss on her design. She is so
No,
gorgeous.
she's.
Oh my god.
Such a
Great
sweet
character design.
too.
Oh, I know. The way she's so in love with Link in Breath of the Wild, and you're just like, oh, sweet bean, it's not meant to be. I wish it was. But she doesn't begrudge him anything. She's just like, please just let me love you in my own way, even if it's not requited, please. And then Link does, and you're just like, okay, this is tragic, but at the same time, it's like, at least she got to express it, even if it wasn't returned. Like, sweetheart, just oh, poor Mifa.
But she's just as like, she just wants Link to be happy, and she's like one of the few characters in this series that is like that.
Oh gosh, like, I feel like Mifa and how do you pronounce it again? Marin.
Marin.
Marin. from Link's Awakening. Like they are in classes all by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Marin. Like
Yeah.
she's just the sweetest thing, and you get that she understands similarly the way Link does, that the island isn't exactly real, but yet she's like, but my feelings are real and I don't want it to end. But it's like at the same time, like I get it. And you just want to pat her on the head and be like, oh, you were too good for this world. Oh gosh. Like,
Well, and then you have Ocarina of Time, where I'm pretty sure all of the female characters, bar Impa, were trying to get into Link's pants.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You have
Yeah.
was that
Navarro,
Malin?
that was a little bit
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time is really horny.
Yes, it is.
It is weirdly enough.
horny.
It's really horny. I will say though, like, even though I am more of a Twilight Princess person, I adore Majora's Mask people. I just don't have the balls to play Majora's Mask all the way through because the time constraints, they make me stress out.
Oh yeah. I
a bit rough with
legitimately
the time
tried.
constraints.
I rented
Well,
so
once you get the song to slow down time, it's not as bad.
mhm.
It is,
But
yeah,
I
that
totally
definitely makes it
get
much
it
more
for like
manageable.
people who can't handle it. It's completely understandable.
Like back in the day when the game had come out, back in the day of Blockbuster, I rented it and returned it after a few days because I was like, I can't fucking do this. Take the game back. Give me something I can work with. Ooh, Bomberman. It's like, yeah, I couldn't. I could not get through those time restraints. Those time constraints. It's just no.
Can we talk about the cartoon?
No, the cartoon does not exist.
Yes, it does. Listen,
But excuse me, princess.
hey, you know what? Hey, do not diss Scott McNeil like that.
Okay.
All right.
This is the one thing I will say.
They were actually, I'll say this. They were with the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, they were better than the Mario cartoons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I'm here for bratty, sassy Princess Zelda as far as that series is concerned. She's always putting Link in his fucking place.
Yeah.
Zelda is fine in it. It's Link I have a problem with.
Yeah.
True, but you love your stoic silent boy.
Also,
Like,
I love cartoon Ganon because his tusks make it look like a curly mustache.
Oh my god. Guys,
I mean,
I'm gonna take a drink of my monster and just look at my avatar.
Okay.
I go to take a drink from the can. For those who are listening to this in audio format, my avatar when I go to take a drink from my monster can looks like she's making a Hagao face.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening in my avatar right now? God damn it.
Well, I love of that cartoon. You have Zelda wanting nothing to do with any of them. You've got Link, who is way too fucking horny for his own good and doesn't know when no means no. And then you have the fairy with him, who's like, wants to fuck Link, but Link is like, yeah, but you're not Zelda.
Hey, you know what? We've seen precedent of that, okay? Listen, Tinkerbell wanted that Peter Pan dick.
Well, we knew that, but I'm saying that I just find that funny, and I'm like, I kind of feel bad for the fairy, because I'm like,
if cartoon Link got his way into
she'll
Ocarina
put out
of Time, it would become a harem anime.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then just everything else is just insane. Like, this cartoon exists.
It does.
It's a relic of its time.
It is a relic of its time.
I tell people, if you're ever interested in it, like, go have a blast. But honestly, Just don't take it seriously. Anybody
Yeah.
who ever did take it seriously was out of their depth anyway.
Actually,
Oh,
since we're
did anybody actually? I did want to. Did anybody actually read the comic book that came out through Nintendo Power with of Legend of Zelda?
which one?
Yeah,
The
there,
one
there
that
was
was made by
Are you talking about the Link to the Past one?
Shotaro Ishinomori, the creator of goddamn Kamen Rider.
Are you talking about the Link to the Past one?
Yes, Link to the Past. The one that was
I have
was
it.
through. Yes, I have it too.
I have a physical copy of that and the Super Mario one, because I actually really liked that.
But yes, it is made in the American comic style by the manga creator of fucking Kamen Rider.
Yep.
And if you read it, you're like, yeah, I can tell that was made by.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't, if you like Zelda, and go read that. It is. Oh, that's really good, and it is one that, it's got a very bittersweet ending.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good Zelda comics out there.
there also was
There's a ton of
another
manga.
Yes, I have that one.
manga for the original Legend of Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there was, I know there was like 2 for that one. There was another one that was kind of in a more typical manga style. I can't remember who the artist was for that one, but it is the one where the source of Zelda and Link being siblings comes from, because they actually are half siblings in that one.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. I know I have, and I always recommend it to people. I have the Twilight Princess manga that came out not long ago. That one is good. It tells us
that one is really good.
Yeah, it's a retelling of the story. Link actually talks, which threw people off, but I'm like, well, how else are you gonna do this? Like, and I think it's also there's a bit of a retelling from Midna's point of view for a lot of things. You actually get the entire story of like how the Twilight Realm came to be and how all of that went down. You get it all from her entire point of view in the first volume. Like, it's so good. Yeah, highly recommended. Since we're a little bit off track from games, one last bit, I guess. What are our thoughts about that we are, in fact, getting a live-action Zelda movie that is being ran by Nintendo? And Miyamoto is very much in charge of it.
I am of two minds of it, because that Mario movie was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But live action, I'm just not so sure about it. I'm glad that Miyamoto and Nintendo are heavily in this, because that's going to mean that, we're just going to do whatever. They're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, the director's just like, we don't like the source material. We're going to do whatever. And Miyamoto just comes back with a gun like,
yeah.
No. No.
Yeah.
It's not going to be live action Cowboy Bebop.
I mean, he has stated, they all stated, it's going to be an original story. It is not going to be an adaptation of any of them. It is its own original Zelda story.
That's good. I feel that's for the best.
And I do think live action would work well for Zelda. I think it could work.
I mean, I'll see it when it comes out, but I'm just going to kind of be avoiding all information on it until then.
Yeah, we got like 2 more years.
And I'm not going to get my hopes up.
Because they did say it was... they gave an exact date of like... I want to say it's like mid-2027. I can't remember the exact month, but I know they literally gave it down to the month.
Well, if it's mid, then that's probably going to be summer, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I only have 2 things that I'm particularly looking forward to. The score.
Yes.
because you know they're just gonna go ham on that shit.
I hope that the score has bits of each Zelda, of different ones from different Zelda games.
I bet it will.
Same,
Like medleys and
same.
things like that.
And considering like the orchestra performances of like Zelda music, you know it's just gonna be fucking gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The other thing I'm super excited for, and maybe this is just me, I want to see what they do with the costuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
am-
think.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're just gonna get. It's gonna set the cosplay community on fire.
Oh yeah.
I can already feel it. Either the costumes are gonna be so bad that people are going to lose their fucking shit and start making actual really good versions of those costumes, or the costumes are going to be so good that my eyeballs are going to be melting. I'm going to need to see it twice because I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Like, look, I was very hesitant when it came to the Mario Brothers movie. I was very hesitant when it came to this new one. When I had heard people go like, "Oh yeah, it's so good, it's so good," I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know." Plus, it's like, man, it's too late. If I had gotten this as a kid, I'd have been happy. But like now, but then I finally passed maybe watch it,
Yes.
and
I broke into Okami's house and made her watch it.
because I actually owned the Blu-ray, I had bought it at one point, and I'm like, okay, fine, and I just bought it on a whim, and so we watched it, and it was amazing. I was so happy. So, figuring out everybody's connections, like everybody knowing the references and everything else, like it was done with love. So, with Miyamoto, and I think I think it's the other dude, with them having such control and making certain that it gets done right, I think it will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. I will go see that one in theaters when it releases.
Yes, I will. I think that the thing was the Mario movie was kind of the litmus test.
Yes.
Like, okay, can we do this that, it doesn't feel like an adaptation of a Mario game, but it has everything that Mario has.
Yeah.
Well, I
Because
think the Detective Pikachu was testing
Dang
the
it.
waters.
That was so
Detective
good.
And
You took what I was going to say.
That might be the fact that if you go and look at like a site called Cinema Wins, and you'll actually see they'll even show little bits of where that Snubble, you actually can see his reflection in the TV, because it's like, yeah, something that normally you're so crunched for time you wouldn't, the animators wouldn't be able to add that, but they did add it. So it's like, yeah, no, you gave them time and they got to make a fucking amazing fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's also the thing. I feel like, just in general, it is safer these days to think that video game adaptation films are going to be better, if not great.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be fucking real. We know what we grew up with.
Mhm.
Most of us here are either, elder millennial or fucking millennials. We grew up with the dog shit. We grew up with the dog shit.
Yeah, we did.
And when I went to go see Detective Pikachu in theaters, because a friend of mine was like, no, I'm taking you to see this movie. I'm like, okay, fine, let's go. and they had already seen it. They didn't tell me shit. They had already seen it. And we go to watch it. And I'm like, that was fantastic. I never knew a video game movie could be that fucking fantastic. And I'm not even a Pokemon player.
Yeah.
But it was fucking fantastic. And it just had me hooked the whole goddamn time. Don't even get me started on how hard I squeed when the Bulbasaurs came to the rescue.
Oh my god,
I was-
Bulbasaur!
Mhm.
It was so cute. It was so
Boy!
fucking cute. and the story was great, and the animation was great, and the live action was great. And I just looked at my buddy Kenny, and I was like, that was amazing. I I want to do that again. And he's like, well, when it comes out on disc, I'll get it for you for your birthday. Because it was like we were in theaters like 6 months before my birthday, so we knew it would be out by then on disc. And we were just having this whole discussion about how good it was. I was still just amazed by it. He's like, you do realize why that is, right? And I'm like, I'm not registering. And he's like, the people who made this film are all about our age.
Yep.
It's like,
yep.
It's basically everybody who grew up with the worst of it is now like, no, this is how you fucking do it.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh shit, you're right.
And from what I've
Like,
gathered, that's what happened with the Mario Brothers movie. Was like they're all around our age.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When they were trying to get in on the hype during the 90s, all of those movies were being made basically by boomers who had no idea what the fuck they were making a movie about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they thought they could just be like, oh no, as long as it has the IP and the proper character names, everything will be fine, everything will be perfect, people will eat this shit up. But they treated it like a quick buck. The days of having to rely on Uwe Boll of all people to bring us a video game movie are far gone.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'll say also that then opened the doors then for them to actually get the Sonic movie right.
That's another good one. Yeah.
And
Isn't it like on its third installment now?
It's on its third
the
installment.
Third one came out last Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, apparently these are just getting better and better.
They are. In my opinion, they are. The third one's the best. But
so now we can safely say that, like, yeah, movies are doing better than the games.
So yeah.
Yeah, I went there.
yeah,
you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
But,
I'm just brave for saying it.
But at the same time, it's like I look at how much Zelda has just been a part of my core existence ever since I got that gray brick in my hand. And I hadn't even really been thinking about the Zelda film that's supposed to be coming. And I'm just like, you know what? Good. Finally.
Yeah.
Fucking finally. Because no one's been allowed to touch it for a film adaptation until fucking now. And I'm like, you know what? This is the time. This is the time. This is the era. These are the people. I have respectful high hopes for it, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I think I speak for all of us when I say, except for Ookami. Zelda is very much a foundational part of our gaming existence, and it wouldn't be the same.
Zelda's existence has a very big part for me. Like, literally, it's always been there. I've always known. Like, it's just not one of those things that I played a lot, but I absolutely respected it. And honestly, I'm hoping your mouth keeps. Are you saying anything or?
Mouth tracking is being weird.
Oh, okay. I'm like, did I
talking.
go fucking deaf for a second? Like,
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, no. I'm hoping that with this Zelda movie happening, that if it's as big of a success as I want to say it will be, that this will finally open the doors and I will get. Oh, I'll finally get to see her on the big screen. Oh, I will finally get to see my Metroid movie.
I thought of a way to do a Metroid movie. I actually have ideas.
Okay.
I have ideas.
Okay, we will definitely have to discuss that. But like,
We'll do this as cut content. I can tell you my ideas right now.
You know,
Yeah.
I think a Metroid episode on its own might just be worth it.
Oh, that's
Okay.
stay tuned, people. That's the next one. So
But-
yeah, this is great. I love Zelda. Honestly, this episode is probably literally going to be just called Zelda is awesome.
Can you have the thumbnail be Link, and just have Mad Cartoon Link just Zelda's awesome, and he's like people calling him Zelda.
I don't know. Anyways, so I think we've covered enough. If we want to go back to Zelda again, we can easily do that. This can easily make up another episode. But I think we covered quite a bit.
That we did.
And streamlined it too.
We did.
So, with all of that said, Xeiren, where can people find you?
Xeiren, that's spelled Xeiren. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me over on Blue Sky. You can find me on Instagram and Threads. You can also find me on Varren Kimbold's Twitch channel every Monday, driving him nuts playing RPGs. And of course, you can find me here, being a menace, as always.
Excellent. Grave, where's the turtle today?
I'm playing music whenever a chest is open in a dungeon.
Nice.
Hope it's not a mimic.
Mimics love music, don't you know?
Open a chest
here-
mimic, and you just see Xeiren in there. You got a Xeiren.
Good.
And here
good
I
for
thought
you.
you'd be going into other people's houses smashing pots.
You know what? That's what we
I don't
need
think
an
you did
anime of Xeiren and Link just destroying everything, being racist.
God.
Like Xeiren's like, oh, he's the Demon King. Oh, he's gonna die. I don't care if it's mid suavemente. He will die.
Alright, moving on. Pass, where can people find you?
You can find me making funny posts and things like that on the desiccated husks of Elon Musk's ego, also known as Twitter.com. And no, I'm not calling it X. No, that's stupid. He's stupid. He should stop being stupid. It's Twitter.
It was on fire yesterday.
Of course it was.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it
No,
was.
no, literally, like the facility running the website.
Oh my god!
What,
Like,
was
it
Elon
stopped-
Musk in the middle of it just being like, this is fine?
No, apparently, like yesterday, it was having trouble just existing because the building was literally on fire. The facility was on fire.
Now I just want to hear that and hear Elon doing like, the roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. You can find me on there under the name Pass the Remote CF. You can also find me on Blue Sky doing Blue Sky posts. No, I'm not going to call them skeets. What the fuck is wrong with you, Blue Sky?
Who the fuck is called?
skeets?
Oh my god, no, I'm
I'm
not
like-
skeeting.
Listen, I know exactly why
You
it's
got
called
paid for
skeeting.
that.
I know exactly why it's called skeeting. I know exactly why it's called skeeting. You want to know why?
Like,
Guess who was the first community to adopt Blue Sky?
okay, fair.
Hip hop?
The furries.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, we just brought, I guess maybe we should just do a quick thing, talk about Reru and Sonia. She fucks a rabbit.
Yeah.
Goat rabbit.
You leave my Zonai Dom Daddy out of this. I will fight. Sonya is also hot as hell too. It's not fair. It's not fair.
That's the thing. Well, and the thing about it in that game, she is fighting for hottest. Because then you got hot librarian Purah over there. You're
Oh
just like,
Jesus, yeah.
Nintendo, what have you done?
Okay, Tears of the Kingdom and Ocarina of Time need to duke it out for who's hornier.
And that will be in a
you
future
go do that. You
Yeah.
go do that. Everybody, all those Zelda fans are just gonna be like Randy Marsh in the corner after he got on the internet that one time.
Oh, it was Spooky Ghost.
He goes, but yeah.
Come on.
You can find me on Blue Sky, Pass the Remote. You also can find me on YouTube sometimes. I don't do as much on YouTube, but you might find me there.
Mhm.
Pass_the_remote. And you'll also find me on Twitch when we do Channel Flip and Toku Tuesday with Ookami, and that is twitch.tv/pass_the_remote. I also have Kick, but I haven't done a whole lot with it. I might do that one day. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see.
You can, of course, find me here on Podbean and YouTube under Wolfson Productions. From goofy-ass anime to the shocking horror, Wolfson Productions, your #1 stop for equally nerdy reviews of nerdy media. You can also find me over on Blue Sky under Mistress Ookami. That's right, Mistress Ookami. That's my name. Don't wear it out. And if you're feeling extra generous, head on over to the Wolfson Patreon, where you can get access to episodes that may or may not drop to the general public. Episodes that will most certainly not be dropping to the general public. Behind the scenes, all sorts of goodies, all for a measly $1 a month. Remember, folks, your $1 a month, they can go a long, long way. And until next time, I fucking love video games, and we are definitely going to continue this because this is so much fun to just shoot the shit over games. Like, because it doesn't require any research. It's literally just stuff that we grew up with. Or even, like, there might be in the future, like, there's probably going to be episodes where we just talk about games we're playing now. I'm sure Link is very happy there. There's the images that I'm not sharing with you and the rest of the general public. And yeah, no, this is just a nice break from having to sit down and watch an entire movie or an entire anime series and give our thoughts on that. So, stay tuned because we will definitely be doing more. Good night, everybody.
Woof.
You know, Wolf Link still always has that fucking leg iron on him. Like, Wolf Link, are you trying to tell us something?
He's a good boy.
I'm guessing he's a very good boy.
Such a good boy.